Many real estate professionals moving into a new market assume that holding an active license in one state ensures an easy transfer to another. Nevada real estate law completely rejects blanket recognition for outside licenses. Instead, out-of-state applicants must pass a compliance check that maps their existing credentials directly to Nevada's exact statutes. Reciprocity is a conditional privilege. It depends entirely on how closely an applicant's home jurisdiction aligns with Nevada's standards, rather than granting an automatic right to practice. Licensing reciprocity is a legal arrangement that allows qualifying U.S. licensees to apply for a Nevada license with reduced examination requirements. To understand the core mechanism of the law, candidates should memorize this exact phrase. Reciprocity compares the other state's rules to Nevada's rules. The legal requirements for achieving this reciprocity split into two separate pathways based on the applicant's license tier. We have to evaluate the salesperson pathway differently than the broker and broker-salesperson pathway. Passing the state exam requires knowing exactly which legal conditions apply to which specific tier. This logic tree maps the reciprocity process, starting with a baseline requirement. The applicant must possess a license from another U.S. jurisdiction. From there, the absolute prerequisite for any reciprocal consideration is that the applicant's current license must be in good standing. In Nevada, good standing requires the license to be active, valid, and free of disqualifications. Any unresolved discipline on the applicant's record stops the process immediately. Once an applicant clears this check, the evaluation diverges based on whether they are a salesperson or a broker. Without clearing those basic hurdles of U.S. origin and a spotless disciplinary record, the specific tier requirements are irrelevant. Looking at the salesperson branch of our logic tree, we hit the first conditional hurdle. The originating jurisdiction's educational and licensing requirements must be viewed as substantially equivalent to Nevada's. The second mandatory condition focuses on the applicant's examination history. The applicant must have successfully passed the formal real estate licensing exam in their home jurisdiction. Clearing both the equivalence and past exam checks triggers a specific statutory reward. The state may permit this applicant to bypass the uniform portion of the national exam when applying in Nevada. Waiving the uniform national portion does not exempt the applicant from the Nevada state-specific exam portion. The salesperson pathway relies on evaluating an individual's past achievements against a standard of substantial equivalence to remove redundant national testing. The standard of proof shifts completely on the second branch for brokers and broker salespersons. For these higher-tier licenses, individual equivalence and personal exam history are no longer the primary legal triggers. Instead, the Nevada Real Estate Commission must have negotiated a formal reciprocity agreement with the applicant's home state. A reciprocity agreement is a mutually recognized legal contract between Nevada and another specific licensing authority. Nevada requires a distinct legal threshold to enter into one of these agreements. The other jurisdiction's real estate practice rules and licensing requirements must be evaluated as substantially similar to Nevada's. Notice the difference. Brokers require substantially similar agreements, while salespersons require substantially equivalent individual requirements. Salespersons are evaluated on individual merit. Broker reciprocity relies on active structural treaties between state commissions. This recap chart breaks down the two core testable concepts side by side for the state exam. For a salesperson, their requirements must be substantially equivalent. They must have passed their home exam, and they may bypass the uniform national portion. For a broker, everything depends on whether Nevada holds a formal reciprocity agreement with a jurisdiction whose rules are substantially similar. Mixing up the salesperson equivalent standard with the broker agreement standard is a primary failure point on the exam. Reciprocity rules and state agreements are not permanent. Jurisdictions update their practice standards frequently, meaning a state that holds an agreement with Nevada today might not hold one next year. Because of this, the mandated professional best practice is to always consult the Nevada Real Estate Division directly. Finding the most current active reciprocity information is the sole responsibility of the applicant. Reciprocity can grant a bypass for national exams, but mastering Nevada's specific statutes remains an absolute requirement for legally practicing in the state.